Kawasaki Ninja 400. Look at that. High beam, low beam, turn signal, horn. High beam, low beam, turn signal, horn. That's a Honda Navi. This is a Honda Grom. High beam, low beam, turn signal. Oh. Turn signals on the bottom. This is a 2025 model. This is a 2022 model. And it's still not right. Why? I don't like it. So, I now have Hodna or Ho DNA and Gorm. So I have a Hodna Gorm. The update on my bikes is not much. They recently both got an oil change. I went to Drumfest in Kansas City. That was a lot of fun. All three of my little bikes were there. This bike here is the one that hit the deer. Some parts are not exactly straight, but that's okay. It's a Grom. It's meant to be ridden hard. The recent thing was trying to get the headlight right. So if you look, this headlight is not the same as the new one. This here should be about here for it to shine right. Underneath here, there's a screw here that doesn't work anymore on this one. So I put this one back here to push this light forward. There's a washer up top I need to take off, and it should sit back a little farther. You can't see anything with this. You can only see half the distance if that screw is not there. I am working on it. The other update, this bike was in another wreck. I don't know what happened. Used electric start. I put a new battery in. The electric start, once we hit it, somebody either hit the throttle or the throttle stuck. It jetted forward and wrecked. So this here had popped out of the socket. All you have to do is do 2 screws here on top, 2 screws here on bottom. This whole front clips out. Pull that up. Whole front comes out. Then you take the bracket and bolt, undo the bolt, put it back in there, tighten it up. It took me maybe 10 minutes to do, but a little road rash. This bike's tough though. It's a lot of fun. Still got a cut fender from my brother wrecked it. I've been trying to wheelie lately, so this one here wheelies a lot better than that one. That one has one tooth down in the front on the sprocket. For some reason, it doesn't want to come up as much as the stock one. That could be because of the tread or just an old worn out motor. It has about 5,500, 6,000 miles on it now, whereas this one just now hit like 1,100. So whichever it is, I've decided this is the one I'm going to try to wheelie. I got a wheelie bar I got to get on the back, but I'm just going to try to wheelie and see what happens. This one, as you can probably tell by all the dirt, it's very dusty and dirty. I need to detail it more, but this one is going to be my off-road build. I have some Shinko mobbers, I think they're called, in the mail for this one, because getting up some of them hills, and especially in the mud, that's no good. It's not even good on the street. But got new tires coming for this one. So I haven't made a video in a little while. I've had stuff going on, and I've been lazy. It's quite a few updates. Showed you the updates on the bikes already, which isn't very much. The biggest update was on my Focus ST. I helped my brother put in big turbo. The 3076R Gen 2. I already had the Depot 5.5 intercooler and a couple other small modifications. Got full 3-inch exhaust now. I've had that for a little while. The catless downpipe and big turbo went in at the same time. And I got my tune from, his name's Alan Jackson. I can't remember the name of the company, but he's been doing it for years. It took like 5 revisions before he got to where he wanted it. I'm extremely happy with it. I was thinking about trading it in on a Lotus Elise, since that is one of my dream cars. But instead, I paid the car off, I went big turbo, and I am not disappointed. Small turbo would kick in really quick. This one takes up to 3,500, 4,000 RPM before it gets to the full boost. But it pulls like crazy. And the sounds it makes out of the exhaust are so good. And the DXL pops, nice. I'm in love with it. I don't listen to the radio that often when I ride now, or when I drive. Usually it's radio off and just listen to the sounds of the engine. I still don't drive it every single day, but every time I do get in it, it's that much better. Like, I had gotten used to it with the stock turbo, and it had gotten to be just a car. You know, it's a fun car, but it's just a car. I got used to everything, got used to it all. But now I get in, and it surprises me with how much more power it has. It's the refresh that car needed. I still need fuel injectors and a fuel pump, high flow fuel pump, and then I'll take it to the dyno and hopefully get a lot more power out of it. And then I'll probably call it a done build. My brother has a shop with a 2-post lift. It made it so much easier to install the turbo. And I talk like I'm the one that did some of the work. He did most of the work. He's the mechanic. I'm okay-ish, but he's the one, the mastermind. So I spent a week and a half down there. Lots of family time. It didn't take a week and a half. It took only actually a few days for him to get that turbo in there. But being able to do something significant on a vehicle with me and him, I learned a lot. I'm the kind of person that I'll learn a lot from watching, and then the next time I'll try and do it, and I can kind of do it. So if I had a lift, I could probably do quite a bit of that by myself. I'll figure out a lot of it. And I'd text message him 100,000 times during it, but I could probably get it done. But being able to hang out in a shop and work on a vehicle together, that was the greatest. One of the things I miss. I think I had messaged him as a joke about bringing the big turbo, and he said, yeah, bring it, we'll put it on. I was so happy he said that. That was definitely the refresh the car needed. One reason I like having so many vehicles is because every time you get on one of them or in one of them to drive, it's a really different experience. If I have the same experience every single time, I get bored and I want to do something, which is why I used to modify vehicles a lot. That's also why I don't get rid of motorcycles, because each one of them has a different riding experience. Lately, I've been riding my Grom quite a bit. I get back on this, and I was like, holy crap, I love this bike. It's a much different riding experience than it's supposed to be. Haven't ridden the Navi in quite a while, and I'll probably take it out soon. It needs some love. It's a completely different riding experience too. Even way different than the Groms. Having an automatic and a bike that feels different is just different. I like it. Man, I need more parking lot practice. Not doing that great. As for bikes that I'm looking at, so I rode a CBR 1000. He was nice enough to let me ride it, and it was, the riding position is way different than the 400. I obviously knew it was going to be, so I've ridden a 636 before, but I wasn't prepared for how leaned over that 1000 was. So I rode a GSXR 750, and it didn't feel much more leaned over than my 400. It was so nice. The CBR 1000 RR, I could probably ride it for about 45 minutes before taking a break and wanting to stay off it for half an hour or more. The GSXR 750, I feel like I could ride that thing for hours and not be a problem. My only concern is it's obviously more than the 600 I would want, and it's only got 10 more horsepower for having 150 more cc. So I'm thinking that's something, if you tune it, it'll be great, like a lot more power, but it doesn't seem like that much more from a 600. So I might as well just get a 600 and have more value, I guess, because I'm not gonna notice the 10 horsepower more when I'm riding. And I mean that as I don't race people. I don't time myself in the quarter mile. I just ride. And if it pulls me back in the seat and you feel that, a lot of that acceleration, I'm probably not going to notice the difference between, 120 horsepower or 140 or 160. Especially not yet. If I'm riding the bike like this one, I never think about how much horsepower it has when I'm riding it. I just ride it. I know it's fun. I know it's light. You can throw it around. And I know. Oh, that's a tight circle. That's what she said. I just know the 400 is fun, and when I'm tossing around corners and accelerating, it's fun. I'm not thinking, oh, I've only got 42 horsepower. So if I get a 600cc bike, I'm not going to sit there thinking, well, I've only got 120 horsepower. If I would have got the 750, I'd have 130. Right now, this bike does not have any electronic goodies. It has ABS. As far as I know, there's no traction control, but there's no wheelie control, there's no A, B, C modes, there's no cruise control, there's none of that, which is what the GSXR 750 is. It doesn't have any of the bells and whistles, but it still costs more than a 636, where I think you get cruise control on that bike. I think it has some different modes and some more electronics and ABS, traction control, all that. I think what's going to be important for me is going to be cruise control. So I think, even though I would like a 750, I'm probably going to end up with a 600, or if I find a 1000 that I can ride more comfortably. I had to put my leg down there. So I'm not exactly sure what my next bike is going to be as far as sport bike. But I've been weighing the options, and now when the time is right and I'm looking, whichever one is like in the right price range is probably the one I'm going to go with. So far I've been liking my Kawasaki, but I've never experienced a Yamaha or Suzuki, so we'll see what I end up with. I'm not looking right now because I still have to pay off this bike, and I still have a little bit to go on my Honda Grom, my 2025 Grom. But I love this bike. I know it's not the fastest. I still get people who comment, oh, you can't run from the cops on it. Oh, it's so slow, and it's a little bike, and I have fun on it, so I don't care. If you can't have fun on a smaller bike or a lot of different bikes, then you're doing it wrong. That's the updates. My next video will probably be on my car and listening to some of the sounds it makes. But my car, it means a lot more to me now. I thought about going big turbo, and then after I get tired of that, trading it in, but now I can't. The memories of me and my brother hanging out in the shop, just talking crap and busting knuckles, mainly his, getting that turbo in there, routing all the lines, getting a new blow-off valve, all that stuff. So now every time I drive the car, I have the memories of that, and there's no way I'm getting rid of that car. And I think that's going to conclude the video. Hope you guys liked it. Hope you guys had fun. I'm out. Bye.